Welcome to the Immigrantinlaw channel. Relocating to another country is always more than just a change of address. You're changing your daily routine, your surroundings, the language you speak, your lifestyle habits, sometimes your career, and sometimes even your sense of self. Many people prepare for the relocation very carefully. They research visa requirements, gather documents, plan a budget, look for accommodation, and find out how to open a bank account, enroll their children in school, or have their degree certified. And all of this is truly important. But there is one topic that people often only think about after they've already relocated. It's your new social circle. At first, it may seem that the main thing is to take care of practical matters. Find an apartment, get your paperwork in order, figure out public transportation, and buy everything you need. But a few weeks or months go by and you suddenly realize there are plenty of people around, but almost no one to really talk to. There are no friends you can spontaneously meet up with in the evening. There are no friends with whom you can ask a simple everyday question. There are no people with whom you feel natural and at ease. That is exactly why today we'll talk about how to build a new social circle abroad, without putting pressure on yourself, without illusions, and without expecting that everything will just happen on its own. In your homeland, your social network often forms naturally. School, college, work, friends of friends, neighbors, relatives, familiar places. Even if you're not particularly outgoing, there's usually a social network around you that has developed over the years. Abroad, things are different. You find yourself in a new environment where people already have their own friends, family ties, professional contacts, and established lifestyles. You enter an existing world and must gradually find your place within it. Add to this the language barrier, cultural differences, insecurity, the fear of saying something wrong, and the feeling that you don't quite belong. Sometimes even a simple conversation in a store or at a playground requires an internal effort. It's important to understand, if you feel lonely after relocating, it doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It's a normal part of the adaptation process. A new social circle rarely forms in just 1 week. It needs to be built gradually, like a new path in a new country. One common mistake people make after relocating is expecting new friends to quickly replace their old social network. But close relationships don't form overnight. Friendship takes time, repeated interactions, trust, and shared experiences. So, in the early stages, don't go looking for best friends for life right away. Start with a simpler goal. Build a network of loose but useful social connections around you. These could be neighbors, parents of children at school, co-workers, people from language classes, participants in local events, or acquaintances from sports or volunteer work. At first, these don't have to be deep relationships, but it is precisely from these connections that a sense of not being alone gradually emerges. Someone will recommend a good doctor. Someone will tell you where to buy the foods you're used to. Someone will invite you for a walk. Someone will introduce you to other people. Step by step, a social support network begins to take shape. The easiest way to meet people is to frequent the same places regularly. One-off events can be helpful, but real connections are more often formed where people meet again and again. Take language classes, for example. They're not only an opportunity to improve your language skills, but also a space where everyone is in a similar situation. People learn, make mistakes, support one another, and are often open to meeting new people. Sports activities work well. Fitness groups, running clubs, yoga, dance, swimming, and team sports. It's easier to start a conversation there because you already have a common topic. If you have children, pay attention to school and extracurricular activities. Parents often meet through preschools, schools, clubs, sports teams, birthday parties, and parent-teacher meetings. Professional communities, local meetups, workshops, interest groups, book clubs, lectures, and volunteer projects are also helpful. The main principle is simple. Choose places you're willing to visit regularly, not just once, but for several weeks or months. It's that regularity that turns strangers into acquaintances. Many people put off speaking because they're waiting for the moment when they can speak perfectly. They think, once I learn the language a little better, then I'll start meeting people. But in reality, your language skills improve faster through conversation. You don't have to speak perfectly to be understood. You don't need to know every word to start a conversation. In most cases, people are relaxed about accents, pauses, and mistakes, especially if they can see that you're trying. Phrases like these help you start a conversation without unnecessary stress. Plus, they honestly reflect your situation. People are often more willing to help when they realize you're a beginner. After relocating, it's natural to gravitate toward people who speak your language and understand similar experiences. This kind of interaction is very important. It helps reduce stress, provides support, and makes it easier to navigate everyday life. But if you limit yourself to this circle alone, your adaptation may be slowed down. You'll be living physically in a new country, but socially you'll remain in your familiar environment. It's better to find a balance. Surround yourself with people from your own linguistic and cultural background, but at the same time, try to interact with locals and people from other countries. This way, you'll more quickly understand the culture, everyday norms, communication styles, professional environment, and unwritten rules of life. Your new social network abroad shouldn't be all the same. On the contrary, the more diverse it is, the more grounded you'll feel. In adult life, friendships rarely just happen on their own, especially after relocating. Sometimes you have to be the first to reach out, suggest meeting up, invite someone for coffee, or ask if they'd like to go for a walk or attend an event. This feels unfamiliar to many people. There's a fear of coming across as pushy, but it's important to remember, taking the initiative isn't the same as pressuring someone. You're simply opening up an opportunity for connection. You can use gentle phrasing. "It was nice chatting with you. Maybe we could grab coffee sometime. I'm going to the local market on Saturday. Would you like to join me? My kids and I are going to the park after school. We'd love it if you came too. I'm looking for people to practice speaking with. Would you be interested?" Not everyone will respond, and that's okay. A refusal or silence doesn't necessarily mean that someone didn't like you. People may have their own commitments, be tired, have family or work obligations, or simply have limited time. Your goal isn't to be liked by everyone, but to gradually find those with whom you connect naturally. These days, many relationships start online. Local social media groups, neighborhood chat rooms, friend-finding apps, professional platforms, and interest-based communities, all of these can be great starting points. You can search for groups based on key topics: city, neighborhood, parenting, sports, language, work, business, culture, volunteering, or events for expats. But it's important not to get stuck just in messaging. An online connection becomes a real relationship when it leads to an in-person meeting, a shared activity, or at least regular face-to-face interaction. For example, if you find a hiking group, go to a meetup. If you see an ad for a language exchange, sign up. Join the professional community. Attend an in-person event. Message someone with similar interests. Suggest grabbing coffee or setting up a video call. The internet helps you find the door, but relationships are built when you walk through that door. When you're abroad, it's especially important to have places where you feel, "I'm not just a stranger here." These don't have to be just friends. It could be a coffee shop where people recognize you, a gym you go to every week, a library, a park, a co-working space, a place of worship, a cultural center, a playground, or a volunteer organization. These kinds of places create a sense of stability. You start seeing familiar faces. People greet you. You begin to understand how the community works. Gradually, the new place stops feeling like a foreign land. Think about what activities were important to you before you relocated. Maybe you enjoyed sports, creative pursuits, music, board games, reading, hiking, cooking, or professional gatherings. Don't give those up. On the contrary, use your interests as a foundation for making new connections. When you go to places that genuinely interest you, socializing feels more natural. Relationships develop differently in different countries. In some places, people strike up conversations easily, but keep their distance for a long time. In others, an invitation to someone's home is a sign of a fairly close relationship. In some cultures, meetings are planned weeks in advance, and spontaneity is considered awkward. In some places, it's customary to smile a lot and make small talk, but that doesn't always mean there's deep interest. To avoid disappointment, it's important to observe. How do people invite each other over? How quickly do they move on to personal topics? How often do they meet? What's considered polite? What boundaries are expected to be respected? Cultural differences don't mean coldness or unfriendliness. Sometimes people simply express sympathy, support, and interest differently. If you feel a sense of distance, don't rush to conclude. It's impossible to make friends here. Perhaps relationships in this culture develop more slowly. Give yourself time to understand the local social norms. Building a new social circle doesn't mean cutting ties with your old one. Friends and loved ones who stayed behind in another country can be an important source of emotional support. Regular phone calls, messages, and video chats help you maintain a sense of connection to your past life. This is especially important in the first few months, when your new surroundings still feel unfamiliar. But balance is key here too. If all your free time is spent only on communicating with those who are far away, you may not have the energy left for the people around you. Therefore, it's worth cherishing old connections, but don't use them as a way to completely hide from your new reality. You can arrange regular calls, but at the same time set small goals for yourself in the new country. Attend one event a week, get to know your neighbors, message someone from an interest group, or go to a language meetup. That way you don't lose touch with the past, but gradually build your present. You don't have to force yourself to become a super social person. If you're an introvert, you don't have to attend big events every week. If you're tired after relocating, don't expect yourself to be socially active right away. Start small, say hello to a neighbor, talk to someone in class, ask a question in a local group, go to one meeting, stay for 10 minutes after your language class, offer a cup of coffee to an acquaintance. Every small step reduces anxiety. You begin to realize that socializing is possible, that people respond, that not everything is perfect, but a lot works out. The main thing is not to wait until loneliness becomes overwhelming. It's better to weave socializing into your new life from the start. If you've just relocated or feel like you haven't built a social network yet, try this simple approach for the next 4 weeks. In the first week, find 3 regular activities: a language class, a sports group, a hobby club, volunteer work, a professional networking event, or a parents group. In the second week, attend at least one of them and strike up a brief conversation with 2 people. Don't aim to make friends right away, just get to know them. In the third week, go back to the same place. A second meeting lays the groundwork for more natural conversation. You can ask how their week went, discuss the activity, or suggest exchanging contact information. In the fourth week, take the initiative yourself. Invite someone for coffee, a walk, a joint event, or a conversation practice session. After a month, you may not yet have close friends, but you'll already have familiar faces, your first connections, and the feeling that you've started building your social life. A new social network abroad doesn't form overnight. You can't build it in a single day or through one lucky encounter. Instead, it comes together through small, repeated actions: showing up, introducing yourself, reaching out, suggesting a meetup, coming back again, showing interest, and giving the relationship time. Relocating is not just about paperwork, work, and accommodation. It's also about the people who gradually make your new country feel like home. If you are planning to relocate to Europe and want to understand which country and which legalization route is right for you, submit a request for a free consultation with Immigrantinlaw's lawyers. We'll develop the optimal relocation strategy for you, prepare all the necessary documents, explain the nuances of the law in detail, and answer all your questions. We'll analyze your case, your goals, and your situation without using templates. Want to learn more or start the process today? Contact us. All contact details are listed in the description below this video. We're here to help you take a confident step toward a new life. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ask your questions in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them. Discover a world of opportunities with Immigrantinlaw.